The views and opinions expressed by the participants of this broadcast are their own and not necessarily shared by the sponsors, organizations, or individuals mentioned in this broadcast. It will contain topics and language unsuitable for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. You're listening to 3231 Nomad Radio. Nomad Radio. How about that? That was me. I hit the wrong thing. I apologize. That was one mistake that we have taken care of. I unmuted the wrong thing. My bad.
All right. Well, thank you, Jamie.
We do it again? We'll do it again.
We're back. Yeah, let's do that again.
Forget we ever showed up. Hold on a second. It's taking too long now. We'll just do the end part. And take two. Sorry about that, folks. I'm a bad engineer. We'll get better at that stuff. I don't know why it's
Hello, everybody.
That's how it is. Hi. It's Wednesday night. I'm Matt. That's Ben. And you are watching 3231 on Nomad Radio on 3231 on YouTube.com. Please do me a favor and have your friends join us. Share this with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like more people in with the conversation. Speaking of friends joining us, Ian Wolfgang, latest subscriber. We got a new thing. We got a thing up above us. Maybe that's what it is. I wonder if
the animations,
the alert thing.
Could be.
Could be. Ben was flipping out there for a second. I'm not sure what the deal was. I got so caught up with that I wasn't really paying attention to the controls and.
There's a lot going on over there.
Thunderstorm happening as well here in Knoxville. Impending lightning and thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as we sound good and we look good, Ben can do backflips once in a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
Digitally.
I don't have any problem with that.
I can't move that fast in real life. So I'm envious. But everybody, thank you very much for joining. How you guys doing?
You can join us in the chat, in the Yahoo chat. We can see it.
Let me ask my friends to join. Type a message to Matt and Ben.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch that.
I have watched some of our episodes.
Couple of chubby nerds.
It looks great, and it sounds pretty good.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm super happy with what this looks and sounds like so far. Thus far. And what holes, what flaws I may see, we're patching those holes up as we go. Feeling pretty confident about it. I know what my problem was. My problem was that we weren't turned up enough. I like us sounding a little juicy in the air, and it was very turned down. But no, I got us going now because I'm partially deaf because of 7 years on stage with no ear protection.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Well,
hindsight.
No, I'm just paying the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, and you've been to lots of concerts too.
That too, as well. Yep. Been on stage to a lot. I've been, that's the price of being near the speakers all the time. But
did you do anything fun since the last time we were here?
Just wanted to state, I'm not saying I regret anything. I'm just saying I'm paying the price for my ears hurting, for my my hearing being gone. As far as good thing that I've done, it's been a little bit. I saw a couple movies and some TV, and that's something that we're going to discuss. But no, have I done everything? I've just been chill lately, enjoying the nice weather, and like reasonable temperatures up until now.
It's a little warm.
I mean, that's fine. But it's 78 degrees. I'm not going to complain about that, really.
We've broadcasted off your back patio in Florida in like August when it was like 98 degrees.
Yeah, 90.
Outside.
Yeah,
just dripping sweat.
98,
so this is fine.
98 degrees, 98 humidity.
Yeah.
Yep. And with a ceiling fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing is that if I could turn on a fan right now, I think that'd make a difference for me. But
sure.
Whatever. That's fine.
We'll be all right.
We're fine. About to be fine in a little bit too, because we're going to be making some improvements to the office. And
we had a guest come over the other day.
Yep.
And lay some photographic knowledge down and help
Jamie
us with
says
the cameras.
These Doritos expired December 2021. Safe?
Of course they are.
Sure.
Yeah.
For another year at least.
Yeah. You could
Absolutely.
tell when Doritos are bad. They're stale.
Yeah, when they don't taste good.
Yep.
I mean, the taste will be gone before they'll mess up your system. Yeah, I was, saw some movies. I didn't do any driving other than work. Watched some nice streaming service. Some programming as well there.
Is Moon Knight on your list?
I watched it. I saw the episode 2. I saw that.
Oh, you saw episode 2?
1 and 2, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you got one more than me, so let's only talk about one.
And I saw Morbius, and what else was it? Yeah, I watched some Silverado. Hadn't seen that in a little bit, so I watched that the Western. Kevin Kline and
I haven't seen that.
Kevin Kline, Danny Glover, Kevin Costner.
Danny Glover, the guy from Community, the rapper. Big Gambino.
Did I say Danny? No.
You're
thinking Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Sorry, again.
Danny
confused.
Glover is the from
Back to the Future.
No, Danny Glover is from
Hello, Wolfgang.
Lethal Weapon.
Oh, the I'm too old for this shit guy.
Yeah.
Okay. How old is he now? Like 80? He's got to be up there.
He's up there. Well, I'll put it this way: Kevin Costner was playing a kid, probably in his 20s. But and I want to say Scott Glenn.
I like Kevin Costner.
I can't remember who else was in it, but there was a bunch of folks in it. Jeff Goldblum played a character in it. I want to say Roseanne Arquette, John Cleese. So big cast. It was awesome. Ian, thank you very much for the subscribe. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you for the offer too. Of not many people know this, or should we even talk about this?
Yeah, let's not talk about what we did do. Let's talk about what we missed out on.
Yeah. Nicole, after Nicole saw the pictures, she's like, why didn't we do this? And I'm like, because we already have stuff planned. She's like, but this wasn't planned. Like, this was offered to us.
This coming weekend was a nice opportunity that neither one of us are able to take up.
I'm consoling myself in thinking that the pictures were like the best it could possibly look and what it really was going to be.
Milking the angles kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Because it doesn't matter what angle you shoot it from, an indoor, outdoor pool, hot tubs, mini golf course.
Yeah.
I mean...
to me, it was the traffic, because there's a big event happening, and it literally takes like 3 hours to go anywhere when this event's happening. So even the fact that Ian was going to give it to us for free because he already done it, no. Maybe if Ian came down, we could meet, you know what I mean? Like, then maybe I could convince myself. but just the using of the room.
Have lunch with us, and then you can leave us to the hotel.
Yeah.
Then you can go. It is really.
It's really like those pictures.
Nice.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you got a timeshare that you're happy with, because a lot of people don't. They hate them.
Well, I tell you what, we may have a discussion at some point on when we could, if the opportunity comes that we're available at some point
to do a meetup in Gatlinburg.
We can talk. We can do a talk. Oh, I was just saying.
Oh, just
me
in
go
general?
to Gatlinburg and finally go hang out there for a weekend. When
have you not been to Gatlinburg yet?
I've been through it. Ian and I were having this conversation. I've been through it a couple times, but
it's a very interesting place, and unless you've like walked around, like parked your car and walked around, you haven't experienced it. Because in a car it's one thing, and then when you actually park and walk around and experience the city, it's really cool, man. I dig it. I'm not normally into like the touristy kitschy shit. But Gatlinburg is really cool, and Sevierville and Pigeon Forge. It's all really.
My mentality is that I had the desire to see all that Tennessee had to offer me, East Tennessee, and then COVID, and so and also I wasn't in a really good state of mind.
No.
Like being in Tennessee, realizing what Tennessee had to offer, I certainly had gone to, and it takes a lot of time to really see all that Tennessee has.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I went up to Clinton and I went up to Norris and I found the river and that was my spot for a little while, and so I just milked that spot for a while.
Yeah, but like it's not very far either.
Yeah, but like I said, COVID and plans changed. I went up to New England for a little bit, and I finally got back now, and I got some money in my pocket. I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. You and I have made big steps getting this thing off the ground and getting this finally moving.
Yeah.
So I certainly got I feel the mojo coming back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gatlinburg is certainly on the list. Everything in the mountains. I want to get up in the mountains.
I just know you're gonna have a hard time with all the people though, because it can be very, very, very packed, depending on when you go. And like this time, it would have been horrible. Like it would have just been thousands and thousands of people on the sidewalk.
Well, luckily, in Tennessee, all you have to
just stayed in a hotel room though.
Yeah, luckily Tennessee is such that if you're not happy, drive 10 minutes, you'll be up in the mountains away from everybody. So
yeah,
and that's kind of what I'm betting on, is to be able to do that. But I want to visit Gatlinburg. I want to visit Pigeon Forge, and I hear great things all about it. And you've certainly said good things about it.
Oh yeah. We'll go more.
Yeah, but and I'll share what East Tennessee has to offer with our community as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what have you and haven't you done?
Well, I'll start with today. We had dinner at Chef Ben's in Fountain City, and it was really good. We had a horrible experience at that other place, which we won't talk about. But we had stopped eating at Chef Ben's because, one, they closed their indoor dining down during COVID.
Yep.
And then they opened it back up, and we had eaten the food there a couple times, and we just weren't really satisfied with, because it's not cheap. You know what I mean? You're paying, real prices.
Yeah.
And if the food's not good, what do? You complain? Like, no, like it's their fault that the food's shitty? I mean, kind of is, but we just vote with our dollars, and we didn't go back. And we've gone to another place. But that other place is on the west side of town, an Asian Kitchen. And they're slow food. They're not like a regular restaurant. Like, you don't go there thinking that, in an hour I'll be paying my check and leaving. No, it's not like that at all. You're kind of at their mercy of when your food comes out.
And you need a few of those experiences, because you get so used to instant, and like that's what everything turns into now is, I'm gonna run in really quick, especially with the pandemic. You get into that mentality of run and gun. Yeah. Okay, when we're gonna hit the drop zone, and then we're gonna throw our money and grab the food and get out of there. What was that place we went to with the food served on a piece of tile?
Oh, that was Monster Burger in Sevierville, and the plates were tile. They didn't like have an edge, so like as they're carrying it, like juices from the food is like pouring on my kid's food and like Jamie's kid. So it was like, why is their food dirty? Like it doesn't look good. And then they were going to be on some TV. Was it like Discovery or whatever? They were going to be on one of those shows. So that's why they upgraded all their plates to the tile. I think the place is shut down now. I don't know. I see stuff.
I think the place is shut down.
I've seen stuff on on YouTube.
They tried to be different and edgy and cool, and
had tile plates.
Yeah.
Their burgers were good though. I mean, they were pretty good. But like around here, like Knoxville area, anywhere near here, if you're going to open up a burger place, you have a lot of competition. Mm-hmm. Not just fast food, but like there's like local good chains for burgers, and you got to do a good job if you're going to compete with them, because you can't just come in here.
I'd say breweries.
We got a lot of
like microbreweries and stuff like that. A
lot of those.
The tavern type, what's the
we got hard cider
beer and
places
burgers
too.
Stuff.
Yeah, we got hard cider places. Gypsy Circus.
If you wanted to open a wings place or a barbecue place in Tennessee, in Knoxville, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, we still haven't found our wing jam. Like, we went to Big Kahuna a couple weeks ago.
That's pretty close. But
they're good. They're good. Yeah, it was expensive. It was expensive and stuff. And
because I went and I got a cigar across the parking lot.
Yeah.
And a coffee and everything. And I'm like, oh, wings. Let's go get some wings. And then drop $20.
Oh, at least yeah. You're gonna drop $20 on yourself. But if the wings are really good, I don't mind paying that extra price.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they're not. They're not all that good.
Yep.
But whatever. And then barbecue. Everybody just says we just haven't had. Excuse me, everybody. We just haven't had good barbecue, and it's like, well, we've gone to all the places you tell us to go to, and the food is all right. It's okay, but it's not anything that I'd tell people you got to come and eat that. Like, no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
that good.
I couldn't think of a place that I would be like, oh man, if you're ever in the Knoxville area, other than Publix. Like I'd say, for you want a really good sub.
Hello, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Yeah. So
speaking of our sponsors,
yeah. Right? But yeah, I would love to travel. I would love to eat. I'd love to see what East Tennessee has to offer. And I'm trying to think of Chef Ben's if I'd been there before. I mean, I know
you know
the
where
place.
it's at, right?
Yeah. Fountain City, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else were we just saying? Because we were talking about Chef Ben's, and there was something I wanted to throw in there.
Mm-hmm. They don't have sushi.
No. Gosh, I can't remember.
It's okay. We have a lot of restaurant options in Knoxville, so I'm very happy for that.
We have not found a gem of a restaurant yet. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Like a lot of places that you're like, yeah, it's all right, but no place you can really like fall in love with. That's all right.
One of my favorite restaurants literally has cockroaches in it from Florida, and like, yep, I still love Terry's to this day. And there's cockroaches there.
Yep.
But here it's like, if I found cockroaches in a place, I'd never go back, because there's so many other places you can go to.
But you mentioned like Pigeon Forge or a few places there.
No, there's a ton of restaurants there too, but they're different because they cater to tourists. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess when you go there,
they got up their game.
Yeah, well, because there's so many options for, like, I don't want to say fine dining because it's not fine dining, but you know what I mean. Like, is it $20 a plate basically what you're looking at, if not more, per person?
No, you know what? I was going to ask that. Have you ever gone to a fine dining establishment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably
anything twice. With a dress code.
Well, I mean, I think Nicole and I have eaten at one place that's like that, Mark's Steakhouse in Ocala.
It's pretty close, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think there was a dress code, but
no,
that was like what I would consider fine dining, because I mean, you're spending at least $50 a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was a kid and my dad took me to California, we ate at a place, and I don't remember there being prices on the menu, so it was like that's when you know you're in an expensive place.
Yep.
Where you have to ask the waiter. For what
you hand them your card and you hope that you get it back at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
No flip-flops. So there was a dress code.
Oh, okay. There you go. Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Nicole and I don't like eating at really fancy restaurants.
Anything with a dress code, even McDonald's makes
you put on pants. McDonald's, exactly. Yeah.
Man. Anything as far as entertainment that you watched? Anything on streaming
I
services?
too did watch Moon Knight. I was very impressed. I'm not going to go into extreme detail, but I liked Moon Knight when I was a kid. I didn't read a whole bunch of issues of it, but I distinctively remember liking Moon Knight.
Interesting look and
yeah, cool. And then I saw that first episode and I didn't know what to think. And then by the end of that episode, I was very happy.
They did not want the hot steak to fall on your feet.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, they didn't want it to fall on your feet. Yeah, there you go.
Greasy feet.
Yeah, we had a couple nice restaurants that were like in downtown Ocala. But I mean, like, you know, that's Ocala, Florida. And we live in Knoxville, and we have all sorts of really nice restaurants downtown when we decide that we want to do that because it's different.
They had a nice Greek restaurant.
Feta.
Yeah, Feta was pretty good. I thought
I'm always leery of any restaurant that doesn't have fountain soda. Like, really? You're going to do bottles and cans, and then you're going to charge me like $4 per can? No.
I drink water, so I didn't.
Yeah, right. or sweet tea.
Or sweet tea.
Yeah, okay. Sweet tea and shotguns.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get right to it then, because Feta is gone.
Oh, I think it's been gone for a long time. Yeah.
Let's get right to it, because the reason why we are gathered here today, ladies and gentlemen, is to discuss one of the best things that it is to have. There is to have on. As a nerd, and that's why I called it, is this the best nerd timeline? Because despite some of the bad things that have happened, one of the good things we can definitely say has happened is that in my lifetime, we've gone from watching on TV Adam West portraying Batman to like actually having decent movies coming out. Oh, well, I mean, the attempts at decent movies. It's taken a while. Yeah. In the 80s, or late 70s, early 80s, you start the ball rolling, Superman, that sort of thing, and then you end up going to, more than that with adding some special effects, adding some real names to it. Although, Christopher Reeve is now
a huge name.
Yeah, but we've gotten to the point now where all of your favorites, even some of the obscure ones, are being realized on the big screen and on the small screen. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. DC or Marvel for you? DC or Marvel?
What, for the movies?
For anything. As originally, comic books. What did you gravitate towards?
Marvel.
Yeah.
For comics. For animated shows, DC.
For sure.
For movies, the MCU. DC, for the animated stuff is just so much better than the Marvel stuff. Whether that was
Bruce Timm kicking it off with Paul Dini kicking it off with the Batman animated series.
Yeah, exactly. That was probably the first one I fell in love with, and then there was Superman, and then all the what is it?
Justice League?
The Justice League shows. Yeah, I watched those all with Abby, and those were absolutely
Unlimited?
Incredible.
Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, and then Unlimited was even better, and then they stopped it. And then there's Young Justice, and that's really good. And I think that's still going on with the same writers and stuff. But then they just did so many DC animated films, which most people
straight to video
stuff, and they were top notch. The acting was great, and the voice acting and the animation was really good.
Yep.
And then you look at the equivalent of what Marvel was putting out, and you're like, oh my god, X-Men cartoons still had the best intro. Absolutely,
I would agree.
Yeah, that X-Men cartoon was one of the best one of the best comic book adaptations for media. Period. I mean, it's the comics in that show, and that show is going to be continuing.
Yeah,
which is really cool news. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's going to follow the MCU in any way whatsoever. If they're gonna mess around with that, that might be interesting. And you have with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you have the proto MCU, like you have stuff like Blade, which is probably the most notable Marvel movie that I can recall. The first one that really
wasn't it the first R, or was that Spawn?
Might have been. Spawn was probably an R movie for sure, but probably the first one. But no, but as far as
Spawn was Marvel though. So
no, that was Image.
Was it Image?
Yeah. But the first movie that I can remember that Marvel put out that really impressed me was Blade, and that doesn't get as much acknowledgement as it should, in my opinion.
Well, they said Deadpool was the first like R-rated, dirty, superhero movie, and like, we're like, no, Blade came out like a long time ago. Like, there's 3 of them, right? And there's like a trilogy of them.
Yeah, but
Wesley Snipes did awesome. And they're rebooting Blade, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bringing Blade into the MCU. If the official their official MCU in canon character,
but not Wesley Snipes though, right?
No,
it's somebody else. But the actor that they're getting to play it is a really good actor. From my understanding.
Cannot remember his name, but
maybe somebody in the audience knows who's playing the.
Sorry, give me just a second. I'll find that out. Blade MCU. I'll find that out right here. La la la.
Yeah. Wasn't he?
Oh, there it is, right there. Mahershala Ali.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I would have thought. Well, what was he also though?
He was in. I want to say he was also in.
Was he in
Luke Cage?
Luke Cage, yeah. He was one of the villains on Netflix, in that, right?
I want to say that, yeah.
Yeah. Nicole and I really enjoyed Luke Cage. We really enjoyed Jessica Jones. When it got down to that horrible fisting show.
Iron Fist?
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Iron Fist wasn't so bad.
Oh, okay.
Well, hear me out.
Yeah, please tell me.
It wasn't horrible.
Okay.
But it wasn't what people wanted.
It wasn't as good as all the other Defender shows.
Yeah. It didn't. It certainly didn't. It didn't keep up with the rest of them. Mm-hmm. But that was a lot of production stuff as well. Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure if I finished Defenders because of him being in it. Like he's that bad that I couldn't even watch it.
What a lot of people do is they have their expectations and
mm-hmm.
then the hype, and then they invest that into whatever they're watching. Mm-hmm. What I normally do, I'm not saying I'm doing it right. I'm just mm-hmm. saying this is the way that I do it. Is that whenever I watch something, I watch it for what it is, for what mm-hmm. they're making. What type of story are they trying to tell?
Yeah.
And there are some times you can't expect everything to be awesome. There are some times where things are going to let you down. The pacing's going to mess up. You're going to be a little disappointed. So I'm certainly not saying that didn't happen because mm-hmm. I think it wasn't a great endeavor, mm-hmm. But it was certainly like I've seen worse.
Mm-hmm. I've seen our own Jamie do better acting cleaning toilets than that Fist guy. So
the thing I had the problem with the most is you could excuse bad acting, but you can't excuse a martial arts movie series with poor martial arts.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the issues was that they wanted to train the guy, mm-hmm. but they kind of threw it all together at the last second, and you could only train so much. And then they started doing production, and mm-hmm. they pushed it because they were so eager to get it out, and have Netflix get it out. That's where the poor quality of the work mm-hmm. goes. Now
I've heard they've renewed some of the seasons for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll get some more of those people in there.
Yeah. Although I've heard recently they've been backtracking a little bit as to what, like, even though you have the characters and they do exist, the Kingpin has mm-hmm. made an appearance, and Matt Murdock has made an appearance, that sort of thing. And they will be incorporating those actors into those roles, mm-hmm. not necessarily having anything to do with.
Are they
the
MCU
Netflix series.
Though?
They would be MCU,
right.
But they're going. They may not hold. Don't get too precious mm-hmm. with what Netflix made. Yeah, they'll probably do some revamping and some changing.
I think Netflix did a great job with what they had. I mean, they didn't have crazy budgets.
No, absolutely.
But they were definitely putting out decent content when there was no other Marvel TV. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I can't say that because ABC had their own deal. So they had
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then Inhumans and the Marvel television was a separate division than the Marvel cinematic.
So I've never really got into S.H.I.E.L.D. I've tried to get into it because of your recommendation saying, no, Ben, it really does get better. You have to just keep watching it, and it gets really good.
It's just not the MCU.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't think I care enough about S.H.I.E.L.D. You know what I mean? Like that. It's one of those things like, mm-hmm. Defenders. I dig Defenders, but like I never read any Defenders growing up.
Me neither.
So
Hero for Hire, I'm all for, but I've never really read any Hero for Hire. Mm-hmm. Daredevil, as a matter of fact, Daredevil's probably one of my favorite Marvel superheroes, but I've maybe read a handful of issues, maybe 6 issues. Yeah, certainly nothing in a graphic novel or 3. Yeah, but I
always thought he was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
You know, Ben Affleck played him in that horrible Daredevil movie. So I didn't like it. I didn't like
horrible.
I didn't like that. And the other one you would disagree with me on is Ghost Rider. You still stand that Ghost Rider's a pretty decent flick.
It was good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I hear they're going to redo it. They're going to remake Ghost Rider.
I thought the second one, Spirit of Vengeance, was a much bolder direction, and I thought, like, I love the style of it. I love the fact of having Ghost Rider, like the camera styles and all that stuff. Some of it was annoyed a lot of people, but Ben Affleck as Daredevil, I never even made it halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, I finished it, and I might have even seen it twice, but like, it's not that good. But I mean, we could talk about bad Marvel films all day long because there's plenty of them, but there's also so many really, really good ones.
Yeah, maybe I'm just easy to please because I like the thinking back about reading comic books. Sometimes you'd open a comic book and it would grab your attention, and sometimes it would be, sometimes it would be like the cover was the only thing good about it. The story
for me is if it was like a number 1 or if it was the beginning of a storyline. Yeah. You know, because I couldn't just jump in right in the middle of something crazy. So it was searching through the quarter bins, the 50-cent bins, looking for actual storylines, and
But I'm the opposite. I would grab grab an annual or like go to Walmart and get one of those 5 comic books for $2 or something like that you don't know what it is, and just open it up and take a look and be like, oh, that's a cool, that's cool artwork, and that's kind of neat.
Ollie's still does that. Ollie's will have the big packets of comics, but I just have no place. I mean. Yeah. I collect enough shit. I don't need individual issues of comics. I started picking up the trade paperbacks of The Walking Dead. Nice. Because Abby wanted to start reading those, and I'm like, okay, well, it's about time I start collecting something else. Yep. And Walking Dead is kind of specific. It's
very cool.
It's not every single comic or anything like that.
The way I see it, and you, like I said, you may think differently to this, but the way that I see it is, if someone's going to the effort of telling a story. Just sit back and enjoy this. Take what you can. Take what you can enjoy out of the story. Yeah. Ghost Rider. Everybody is quick to shit on. And everybody's quick to shit on a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I'm just grateful that it's there.
Yeah, right. That they made it at all. Because they could have not made any Ghost Rider films.
Yeah, like if you hated Ghost Rider, Sam Elliott was in there. He's freaking cool, and you get to see a cool moment of him as a Ghost Rider, and like some of the effects are neat, and some choices that I wouldn't have made or that I wouldn't have seen somebody make. Or you know what I see? I want to see Nick Cage as Elvis as Ghost Rider. But he pulled a lot of stuff that he thought from, and it's kind of like, oh, that's a fun ride. It's something fun and entertaining to watch. I grew up with 70s and 80s television where some of the stuff is. My brother sent me a video of something called Future Cop with Ernest Borgnine as a cop, and I can't remember his name for the life of me, but the guy that played the dad on Good Times.
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
All right.
Amos? What was his name? Anyways, I can't remember his name. I got to look it up. I want to say John Amos, but I'm probably not. Let's see.
Yeah, Jerry Mathers?
No. The dad on Good Times. Him.
J.J. Walker?
Not J.J. Walker.
Dynamite!
Him.
Yeah, I know you do. James Evans.
Yeah, I keep going to call him James Evans, but his name just can't. John Amos. Okay, good. I was right. Yeah, John Amos. James Evans. I keep thinking that's where my brain goes. James Evans. He played a cop. Ernest Borgnine was a cop, and then there was some nobody white dude playing an android cop. And all he did was he said certain things, and then John was like, "How the hell do you know that?" Like, just being angry black dude kind of thing. And I watched that, and I'm like, oh.
It was rough back then, man.
It was rough because you're like, do we have to? I'm like, oh, stereotypes and it didn't age well. But so in $6 Million Man, where the special effects are,
slowing down and making sound effects.
Yeah. Knight Rider. Enough said. you think it's awesome, but then you go back and you watch them and you're like, oh, facepalm like crazy.
Yeah.
But you think we would. We have. I was gonna say we've grown since then. Mm-hmm. Not a lot, unfortunately, but we still get stuff like was it Zoe Kravitz being turned down for a role, and I can't remember what role it was, but they said they wouldn't give the role because she was too urban. That sort of thing where it's like, oh, come on, really? And this was like a few years ago. It's like, man. But anyways, I could get into a whole thing there. But
there's so much content to watch nowadays. It's hard to pick what you're gonna.
And a lot of people are super quick to be like, "This sucks. That sucks. This sucks." All that, for one reason or another. But
I have issues with like the DC TV universe and like the Arrowverse or whatever. Like it's cheeseball. It's not. You know what I mean? Like it's not up to the certain level that I feel is acceptable for like what the Marvel shows have done. Mm-hmm. Like it's of a certain caliber. Mm-hmm. And when you watch the CW. Arrowverse, it's CW. Amazing that the shows are as good as they are because come on, it's CW.
Yeah.
You know what
for
I mean?
A weekly serial.
It's amazing if you're looking at it from that point of view, and it's not Disney producing it, it's not the Marvel shows. But
for the most part, it's a weekly series that has to go season after season after season. So they're going to be...
was it Legendary... What is it?
Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I started watching that, and it just got so cheesy. I'm just like, oh, my God.
Flash and Supergirl and Stargirl and a whole bunch of other stuff came with it. Mm-hmm. But, it just gets to a point where we love Flash. The girls have watched it all the way through twice.
Wow.
Yeah. It gets to the point where if you're doing... week after week after week, season after season of this stuff, you're going to tell the same story over and over again.
It sounds like Supernatural. Like, what season is that show on? Like 20 something.
Yeah, but at least with them, they had the Monster of the Week sort of thing, and the DC stuff sort of does that. But it's more like, I have a secret, and I can't tell you. I'm going to get close to telling you, but week after week, it's going to be like, is she going to? Nope, it doesn't say they'll tell her secret yet.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just, one day maybe I'll sit down and watch all that stuff, but there just seems to be so many other like really original, groundbreaking. Like, I'm a sucker for anything sci-fi. So now as I get older, your insert generic action film does not interest me unless it's sci-fi.
Yep.
And then I'll give it a go.
I'll agree.
But like, we were asked about Fast and Furious the other day. Like, I've never seen a single Fast and Furious movie, but they make billions of dollars. So like, that's why they keep making them. So it's just,
I've seen the first one, but never anything significant after that that I can recall. Maybe half of one, half of another. But
I just have issues with massive amounts of violence, and whether it's like the Avengers film where like half the population dies, or like there's aliens and they're just blowing everything up. Like, I don't get enjoyment out of watching things get blown up. And like, I think it was Batman versus Superman was like when they were fighting each other and all the buildings were coming down.
Yep. Overkill. Yep.
Yeah. Like, okay. Oh, another building,
I liked Fast and Furious.
Well, that's fine. You are allowed to watch.
Yeah. There are some people. Yeah. A lot of people are with you there.
Yeah. It's made lots of popcorn.
It's made buckets and buckets of money. But I'm kind of the same way with Walking Dead, where like it's an interesting story, but it was just too much gore, too much violence, too much. Just a little too much.
I would love to see The Walking Dead reborn in a Western. Because it kind of is a Western. There's lots of riding horses and stuff like that. But I could buy into
Deadlands.
It again. Yeah, like a Deadlands role-playing game setting. But just take The Walking Dead and put, pioneers, crossing over to Oregon.
Sure.
Like that would be... Well, there is a show. It's 1883, but like... That's horrible. Take zombies and add that. It's even worse.
I haven't seen 1883 yet.
It's really good.
Is it?
It's really good. It's got some country stars in it that are, well known. I think Faith Hill's in it.
Oh, nice.
So, no, it's a good show. There's some really good actors in it.
No, Sam Elliott's in it. So
Sam Elliott's in it. Exactly. Yeah. Man, he's getting old, man.
Yeah. I remember Hell on Wheels was the last Western thing that I really watched.
Hell on Wheels is great. Yeah,
fantastic.
No, I love that.
Anson Mount is dreamy.
Yeah, the whole Western genre. People thought it was dead. Like when Unforgiven came out, when Clint Eastwood did Unforgiven back in like the 90s, people were like, that's it. There's no more, he's done everything now. You can't, there's nothing in Westerns you can go back and do. No. But no, they keep doing it.
The one series everyone that knows me says I would love is Westworld, and I still never watched a single episode. The first season of Westworld was really good. It had some twists and turns that were interesting. After that, I think the second season tried to hold on to that same vibe of the first. It's like you unveil the climax of the movie, the big reveal, the mystery is solved, and then you do another season. Like what's left. So it's like, okay, no, there's more, and then you try to sell people. That seems like what season 2 was everybody trying really hard to sell you. No, there's more. There's more.
I wish they would tell you how many seasons a show is going to be when it starts.
They should actually do like maybe 3
because I wouldn't have watched any of Westworld if I would have known it was going to get that dumb that fast. And I've never seen all of Lost. But I've heard how Lost ends, so I'm really glad I never watched all of Lost because of how it ended.
I went back and watched 3 episodes of Lost, and I'm like, nope. I gave it 3 episodes, and I'm like, nope. Yeah. But yeah, no, they should do like film 3 seasons of something, and then just put it out. Beginning, middle, and an end. You're done.
Well, wasn't that the big thing with Battlestar Galactica? Not Battlestar Galactica. I'm sorry, Babylon 5. Was that like when they started Babylon 5, they knew how many seasons it was going to go for. They knew what story arcs they were going to do, and that's why the show was so good. Yeah, because they didn't write themselves into holes constantly.
There were
some, knew how long it was going to be.
Yeah, they did stretch it out a little bit because there were some personnel. There were some personnel changes. Some. Things happen, and you get some guest writers and some guest directors and stuff like that. But I was dating a girl when Jamie says I was dating a girl when I first moved to Florida during the Lost finale. She actually cried and said that she had wasted so much time watching the show for that shit ending. I imagine that's exactly the same thing that Game of Thrones folks watch, and that's such a shame.
Oh yeah, kinda. But George Martin hasn't finished Game of Thrones, so
it wasn't his at that point.
No, that was the writers on the show. No, that was a good show. I mean, I watched it. Very good. I will definitely watch it again. Maybe when Abby's old enough to enjoy it with me, but that'd be kind of weird too, like watching that stuff with your kid.
Boobies.
Yeah, well, boobies I'm fine with, but there's lots more than boobies in Game of Thrones.
Well, I was trying to be
Momoa was
trying to be tame,
dominating.
I was trying to be tame.
Yeah.
But reeling it back a little bit, you get all these different series that I am just appreciative. I'm grateful that I live in a time where I've gone from, man, I would love to see XYZ on the big screen to it's available every week, every month. When something ends, another thing's right there the next month. You just gotta wait a week or two and then jump right into the next thing.
Lord of the Rings TV series is going to be coming out soon.
Not interested.
No.
What
I found funny was that they don't have the license to do the things they're planning on doing in the show. I was like, really? You don't have access to that material, so you're just gonna wing it?
Yeah, that's gonna bode well. Same thing with Inhumans and. Like I said, the quiet guy who is the destructible voice. He hardly speaks the whole episode. Yeah. The woman whose hair can magically shave her head. What was the first movie you guys saw at a drive-in theater? Mine was a double feature of the first Batman and Indiana Jones. I saw a double feature as well. The first drive-in movie.
I know what mine was. That I remember.
I'm going back pretty far, so I don't really recall. I'm going to say that the first one I can remember was, I can't remember the first movie, but the second movie I should say, but the first movie was a Cheech and Chong movie.
Wow. So that's impressive that
I was in my teens.
Cheech and Chong movie.
Well, I mean, they're funny.
Sure. And if you're a stoner.
And that's what you have.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong is comedy. It's a comedy duo.
Mine was Return of the Jedi.
Was it?
Yeah, I saw Return of the Jedi in the drive-in, and I think I'm almost positive I've seen one of the Indiana Jones in a drive-in.
I think my first theater experience was Star Wars. for sure. But
as a little kid seeing the first Star Wars in the theater,
you
saw.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I have a memory of scenes that did not exist. I think somebody was talking about it or something, or somebody mentioned something in the theater, and my kid brain just kind of like blew that up. Or what the throwaway lines like, "I knew your father. I served with him in the Clone Wars," and so my brain just goes, "Clone Wars scene."
Yep.
Obi-Wan never told you. But no.
What was yours, Jamie? What was your first? Oh, you said Batman and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yep.
For double feature of Batman '88 and Indiana Jones, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good start.
I have a Batman for the Batman story there. Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. So when I saw that, I was a young man or young boy, and I saw that with my dad.
Became a young man.
And no, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman really did it for me. And I got a little too excited. So, a little too excited. It was, definitely. I was...
Clean up an L3?
Yeah.
Kind of moment?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Well, hey, if
but I don't find her that attractive now.
Doesn't matter.
But back then...
My memory of it spilling my root beer in the back of my dad's 72 Cutlass, he was pretty pissed. You want to talk about vengeance?
Mm-hmm.
He was the knight at that point.
Speaking of things Knoxville needs.
A drive-in theater?
Drive-in movie theater.
Where?
Just anywhere. Just anywhere conveniently located. We used to have them, but we don't have them anymore.
Tear down the Amazon that they're building, putting drive-in
there. No, I was thinking a drive-in movie theater that also doubles as a flea market, and we don't have a good flea market, and a food truck park.
Sure.
I thought you open that up, it's going to be successful.
Well, you have all that room on the underneath the highway.
We could displace all those unhomed people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can give them a place to live. Just over to the side, away from the. Yeah.
What movies now are coming out that you're really excited about with the MCU? Well, I mean, it could be DC as well, but
I had written down about 30 movies that I wanted to see, and a lot of them are being moved. Like the Aquaman one is being moved, and there are a couple more.
Aquaman 2?
I believe yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's kind of changed a little bit. I'm still excited to see them, but no, I guess probably the biggest one would be Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Would be the one I'm looking forward to the most, just because Taika Waititi makes gold. He makes cinematic gold. But what I wanted to do was talk about the stuff that's come out this past year, especially getting into the next chapter of the cinematic universe. We've heard hints of X-Men. We've heard hints of Fantastic Four. There's a lot that we're going to get into with the MCU. First, pardon me. Let me throw the question back to you because that was very rude of me. What are you looking forward to?
Doctor Strange, the sequel.
Multiverse.
Yeah, that looks really, really good. I've always liked Doctor Strange. I've always liked any Marvel characters that dealt with alternative dimensions or like portals. In there was one I really liked. I think her name was Magic.
Yeah,
and she was
It was Colossus' sister, Illyana.
Yeah. That whole storyline blew my mind. That that was just, it was so cool that you could see all the different magic in another dimension, another realm.
Yep, she traveled to the Hell dimension.
Yeah.
And I think she teleported, and that was her mode of teleportation, was to travel to that dimension and then use that dimension to shortcut to back to Earth. It was some interesting stuff.
I always thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
lots of potential for adventures when you can just open up portals and stuff and go crazy dimensions. Yeah.
She was featured in the New Mutants thing that they kept holding on to year after year. I think it was 5 years after they had made it.
Did you watch
it?
They
finally brought out. No.
I saw it. It's okay.
It was all right.
It's all right. It's about as good as Ghost Rider. No, I mean it's actually it's worse. It's worse than Ghost Rider.
It hurts my heart because those are enjoyable movies.
It's right up there with Inhumans and stuff. It's not that.
Yeah, that was the point that I was going to get back to earlier on. Was even the worst that Marvel has to offer is still pretty good.
Yeah. Oh,
it's just not the best. You're looking. Everyone's looking for 7s and 8s and 9s, hoping for a 10.
Yeah.
But do you really want one? They don't really exist. No. But you get a 5 or 6, and everyone shits on it immediately, and that hurts my heart because it's like, as a nerd, not having this stuff. And then when you do get it, it's like the Corman version of Fantastic Four, and you get the silly Captain America riding a motorcycle, with his bike helmet, and the cheesy. I didn't like, hot take. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I didn't like the Lou Ferrigno Hulk series. I wasn't a fan.
Are there actual real fans of that show? I thought everyone just likes it ironically.
No, there are a lot of people that are
like, "You're not gonna like me when I'm angry."
Hulk should not be CGI. Hulk should be a large man. No. There are a lot of people that
there's no man large enough to play Hulk.
No, there isn't. But
he's in. Yeah.
But they'll say Ang Lee's Hulk was garbage, and they'll say that Ed Norton's Hulk was garbage. People just do that way too much. Trash the stuff that exists.
No, you said Ang Lee. So who was the character that played the Hulk in that?
That was
that Australian guy.
His name was Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana is one of the greatest actors that we know of all time.
I thought that was a great movie, but people shit on that too. Big time. Liv Tyler, right? Liv Tyler was
I'm kind of a sucker for any movie Eric Bana has been in.
Again, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam
played
Elliott.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Like the style of the movie was very comic booky, and it was something everyone can sit and they can trash, but then they're not making.
Have you ever seen Chopper? Eric Bana was in a movie called Chopper.
I don't recall that.
And he played this crazy, it's based off a real guy. And I think what we could do, we could pull up a trailer for it, and let's throw us in so we can watch it with everybody.
I don't know that we can do that.
Really?
Is the thing, yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to get pulled.
Oh boy.
Chopper.
Yeah.
Oh, let me put.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Chopper
let me put
movie
Chopper,
movie
Eric
trailer.
Bana.
There you go, trailer. Yeah, I think we can get away with it.
And what we'll do is
there you go. Oh no, that's the whole movie.
No, is it?
Yeah, that's an hour and 30 minutes. Let's not watch that. Just go back and then there you go.
Trailer?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
so
all
what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute it. First Look Pictures, Image Entertainment, Telluride, Toronto, and Sundance Film Festivals. He's got a little weight on him.
Yeah, he's definitely a bigger, fatty.
Kind of a short-haired Mick Foley kind of a look. There's a new badass in town. Ain't it cool news? Oh, Ain't It Cool News did a review. Oh my gosh. All right. So it's a biker sort of a
yeah.
thing?
So he plays.
He writes
really,
about crimes.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept.
Very indie.
We definitely have to watch it. Yeah.
He writes about his own crime. He commits crimes and then writes about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler was with Edward Norton. That's right. Nick Nolte played Bruce's dad. Good movie, but yeah, you get a lot of people just rag on it.
Well, we'll have to watch Chopper together. It's a very interesting movie. It's violent, but it's not.
I don't like violence. Then he highly recommends.
But again, it could be Eric Bana too.
Stabs and shootings and
yeah. Oh, it's a very violent movie. Yeah, but
tough, ferocious, and funny. It's getting great reviews.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you can stop it. That's fine. Yeah.
Do we get explosions?
No. It's not that. It's not that kind of movie. No, it's all like realistic.
Best performances in recent history.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Rock and Rolla, or it looks like American History X, or
kinda. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it would definitely fall under that kind of violence and stuff like that. But yeah, that was like a movie that I found on DVD, but like full screen only, And every time I found a copy of it, it was always in full screen. I'm like, I don't want to own full screen copies of movies. I at least want the widescreen edition. And I mean, I think I found it on widescreen or whatever, but like, you know.
Now, with Marvel, with the MCU, and especially like we were talking about the Netflix before, Punisher came under some heavy fire. With Disney Plus now changing their guidelines a little bit and including mature.
Yeah, you had to like re-sign into your account and profile, and then pick, you know, if you were going to allow that or not.
A lot of people up in arms about that, and it's like I think they did. Mike Tyson explosion. So you get a mix of different types of content on Disney Plus that you can regulate because you have the power to do that. You have the power to tell your kids what they can and can't watch, and then you know, I don't see why Disney Plus is the villain in this case because they're offering.
Well, it's not
stuff.
Just that. That's one of the things that has upset people, but there's other things that Disney is doing that is upsetting people, and they're leaving Disney Plus because of that. So
what other things?
So they have some shows that are more progressive and introducing concepts to little kids that some parents feel that it's not appropriate for Disney,
like inclusivity and stuff like that, kind of
all sorts. You name it, dude. All sorts of stuff. And then, you know, there was Disney employees that got like caught up in a sex ring in Orlando or one of the local communities and stuff. And people are like, you know, like this is not, you know, Disney should not be calling the shots for our children, kind of thing.
So general chopping block type stuff for Disney that happens to flow.
I'm not canceling my Disney Plus because of something in a movie or like the new Red Panda movie or something like that. There was some stuff in there that people weren't happy with. I mean, dude, people are going to get upset no matter what. But vote with your dollars. You know, if you don't like Disney no more, don't go to Disney parks. Yeah. Don't give them money every month. And you just voted with your money there.
Yeah,
but I love Marvel and Star Wars. You got me, dude. I'm set.
When you're dealing with fans, you're dealing with a lot of passion. You're dealing with people who have absolutely, like unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that they have going on for them is not positive things. The people gravitate towards certain characters because they feel the freedom in those characters that they don't have in themselves in their own situation. There are some people that try to live vicariously. There are some people that have issues and they just generally lock into something fantastical on their screen rather than dealing with the reality of the situation. There are a lot of people who have like other issues that Disney or Marvel or whatever just happen to be there at the time to be in the line of fire. You know,
the one was it Luca? Luca caused a lot of controversy. Because it was too Mediterranean. I guess they were mermaid boys or whatever.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, the character's gay. And they're like, no, he's not. He's not gay. People are like, well, he could be gay. We all could be gay. I mean, like that's why you're upset in a movie because the boy could be gay. But they're like, oh, but they're not showing it. Okay, why are you upset? Like I think you're looking for something to be upset about.
That's where my point was. That Marvel or the Disney may present something that is an avatar for the issues that the person has, and that or the people have. Like if somebody is on some sort of soapbox, if somebody's on some sort of crusade, something triggers them from Marvel.
I'm all for, though, if you don't like something and you want to cut it out of your life, you go right ahead.
Yeah.
There are so many things that I wish we could just cut out of our life. In the last couple of years, if I could just pick and choose. No, that shit doesn't exist anymore in my reality. I would have done that. Yep. Like, it's okay.
So that's the problem, not the content, not what people are creating.
Maybe. I mean, we could sit and we could really pick at it, but there's no point. It's not. But fun. I'm just saying, if
people are creating stories and people are telling stories, and there are some issues that Hollywood has where they're not making good decisions, and they're in some cases they're trying to play it too safe, and in other cases they're as with anything humans get their hands on. There's going to be issues with it. There's going to be agendas.
Well, like I know it's a different company. It's Nickelodeon, but like Nickelodeon had pedophiles, like known pedophiles, on their crews for like content creation, and like producers and stuff like that. So like they knowingly knew that they had sickos, working with children, and like Disney's not that different either,
Right. But the issue at hand would be, I want to watch forms of entertainment, and then someone else is saying, no, you shouldn't. Yeah. No. They remove those things.
I'm all for them not watching it. That was the big thing. Like people would complain about Howard Stern. Like nobody's forcing you to listen to Howard Stern. You don't like Howard Stern? Don't listen to Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. You don't like a podcast, or you don't like somebody's point of view. Yeah. You don't have to listen to it. I mean, you definitely don't have to come on our broadcast and complain. Like if you don't agree with us, you don't have to listen.
Mm-hmm. I missed this. Me and Aurora watched the Red Panda movie. It was great. Any parents thinking their part of that was not good for their children, downright idiot.
It was the sexual innuendos, jokes.
It's okay.
That I was told. I mean,
I
didn't watch
Red Panda is about a girl coming of age. It's about the period.
Is it really the red? That's the red part.
That's the Red Panda.
Oh.
If you want to not take it literally, if you want to take it literally, it's about a girl that transforms into this adorable giant red panda. If you want to look at it, okay, guys, I'm out of here. Sure, it's shameful you gave
Thanks, Ian.
Free weekend vacation.
I know, buddy. Sorry.
Thank you for the offer, sir.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, bud. But yeah,
in another multiverse, we took you up on it.
But yeah, Red Panda was about this girl coming of age and having emotions and having feelings for boys and the hormones and stuff that come with it.
That's why Abby liked it so much.
Yeah. She related.
Well, I mean, she hasn't done that yet, but she's definitely getting older. She'll be 11. I believe that.
Yep.
Yeah, 11.
I just thought about that the other day. I'm like, was it 4 or 5 years before she's like, Dad, I need to use the car?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to give her my Kia. I think we're just going to keep it just to give it to her. But if she crashes, it's no big deal.
But yeah, people are like, they don't want metaphor. People don't want a story. They don't want things that are, that deal with issues and emotions. And, like that's a problem with people, not a problem with people that make the content, not with the movies or the animated series or anything like that. And that's the same thing with the MCU, is that if you're dealing with a lot of different issues, you're dealing with things that exist in reality. Some people are going to take offense to it, and some people aren't ready to have that thought or have that conversation. And then other people are going to take that and be like, okay, well, I'm going to twist this into something that's going to cause headlines, that's going to cause clicks, that's going to motivate or move along my agenda. So that's the issue. It's not the movies, it's not the TV shows, it's not the content, it's the people and how they twist the content, distort the content. And when you're talking about entertainment, you're talking about Hollywood and all that, there's corruption everywhere. So nobody is pure of heart necessarily.
I am pure of heart.
But I'm just saying in the entertainment business.
Oh yeah, no.
Like corruption exists in all corners.
They're all devil worshippers, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying like
they're either devil worshippers or lizard people. There's no in between.
I can't this year, but maybe next year I can hook us all up and we can be all together. I can get multiple rooms at once. I have a shit ton of time I can use.
That's awesome.
You, sir, are gem. And
we thought about that getting a big cabin. I mean, they're expensive, but getting one of the cabins in one of the national parks or one of the state parks. You can get those a lot cheaper than like a privately owned cabin, and then doing a meetup, or get Natalie and Jamie to come up, and Aurora, and do something like that. That'd least be cool. Yeah, and then we could put the call out for all of our wonderful fans to see if maybe they want to come and hang out with us for that weekend. We could definitely do that too.
Something with the family. Let's do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because there's quite a few people, right, that are like within 4 or 5 hours of us. At least a handful. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're far enough away from Ohio, and I know there's probably like a dozen folks that knew us from Ohio from the Periscope days that we still keep in vague contact with, but generally, yeah. But yeah, the Florida, Georgia.
What was that one? That your one friend, you've been friends with her forever. I don't know if you still talk to her, but she was a car detailer. She was in Ohio near Cleveland.
Oh, Bree.
That's right.
Lost touch with her, but
yeah, okay. Yeah, I jumped in one of her podcasts like. I don't know if it was a HAPS broadcast or not. I don't think it was a Periscope one.
It's probably Periscope.
And it was like years later, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Like she flipped out that I was on her broadcast. Like, where have you been?
Nice.
Like living, doing something else, not watching broadcast.
Yep. Yeah. I lost touch with a lot of friends from the Periscope days, but yeah, it'd be cool to now that we're getting out of this mess. Maybe a year or two down the road, you never know.
What no, years. Let's talk in months. Son.
I'm being nice. I'm not getting my hopes up and saying,
look how great
6 months
look.
we got.
Look how great we look and how well we sound. Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, who knows? Once we start seeing real numbers on our broadcast, maybe then we can start talking about a meetup or whatever. Yeah. But I've been very happy with what we've been getting.
I thought I was being very generous with a year or two, but if it does happen sooner, certainly we can make stuff work.
Yeah.
I am very ready to be proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Very ready to.
That's why I want to lean heavily on Scruffy City, man. I want to lean heavy on Knoxville because they're we live here.
So much to offer.
Yeah, this is our home. There's so much stuff. I don't know of a whole bunch of Knoxville podcasts. I know there are some. There are some groups, especially like with the arty, more of the arty stuff. I know there were some people that were hanging out at Central Cinema.
When there's enough comments that you accidentally miss all of my comments, then I'll be happy that you have enough viewers.
Yeah,
Agreed. Agreed.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Jamie. We really appreciate it.
Good problem to have is way too many people commenting.
We've talked about that. Yeah, we have definitely talked about that.
The need for mods and such.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just glad there's chat because we did an impromptu show where we literally had nobody join us.
Yeah, for like.
But then we found out that there might have been something wrong with the link too. Well, at least that's what I tell myself to sleep.
So, getting back to now that we've addressed those things, and certainly very important things as well. The recent Marvel productions, Sony and Marvel productions. That seems to be where a lot of stuff is coming from with Far From Home or No Way Home. Excuse me, No Way Home was the recent one.
It was great,
and also Morbius.
And Venom.
Venom, yep, and dealing with those things. I'm also thinking with Disney Plus, there is Hawkeye came out.
Yeah, Hawkeye was great. I was really impressed. I was really impressed by Hawkeye. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I don't like him. I don't like Hawkeye, but
Jeremy Renner, or just the character Hawkeye.
Both.
Okay.
But the female lead that was in Hawkeye, absolutely amazing.
Haley Stanfield or something
like that. Yeah. She's wow. She's a little actress.
She's a knockout.
Yeah.
And she's funny.
Yep.
And like
total package.
She's the total package indeed.
Yep. She's attractive, but she's not so attractive, and she's funny.
Mm-hmm. Hawkeye. Yeah, I dug that series. I'm very happy with what Marvel has pumped out, and like they're doing. That's what you need to do. That was kind of one of my points. All the movies and stuff that we've seen, all the television stuff we've seen, mistakes have been made. Some bad choices have been made, but it all leads us to this next thing. We wouldn't have a Phase 4. We wouldn't be talking about the possibility of X-Men coming into play and Fantastic Four and stuff.
Don't you wish like they would have skipped like Eternals and like replaced it with the X-Men?
No, because you take your chances with stuff.
No,
I mean,
sure.
Do I think that now? Okay, let me clarify. Sorry, but the only Hawkeye that has my heart is Hawkeye Pierce.
And that's actually who I'm named after.
Alan
Maybe
Alda.
that's why, why Jamie said that or not. I'm actually named after Hawkeye.
So you have, where is she? Full credits.
Hawkeye was actually one of my original handles when I logged onto a BBS back in the day. Hawkeye was my first handle.
Haley Steinfeld. I got it.
There
it was really close.
We were close.
And Florence as Yelena. Oh my gosh, love her. The Black Widow's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she was great too.
Love her.
That so actually Black Widow. That was a decent one.
Black Widow. That's her.
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty good. I did kind of think it was a little weird that they were starting to release the movies like out of order, and that's a little bit harder for people to understand. Like I got it. Like I understood that. What timeline it was in.
And you hate that because there are so many factors not having nothing to do with the MCU, just having to do with Hollywood and having to do with people's
Morbius.
contracts.
How long has Morbius been delayed for? I mean,
Yeah.
like that movie was supposed to come out like at least a year ago.
Yeah.
And then they put it out there and people didn't like it. And then we got to do reshoots. And then you saw it.
Yeah, it was again, I have a much better opinion of movies than other folks do. That like there are some movies where I will walk out of a theater, which I did this year so far, but there are good things to pull. Here's what I think as far as, and I was kind of getting to this point a little bit earlier. Sometimes you have issue 1. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have the first story arc, which is the first 12 issues of a book, 4 issues of a book, whatever. And you get a great run, great artist. You get the powerhouse of a team. You know, the pencil, the inker, the colorist, the writers, the editors, everybody involved just knocks it out of the park with what they do. And then maybe 4 years later, 5 years later, in some cases, you end up with that same character or a couple characters from that book in an annual in the back 10 pages of some, you know, you have like I use Spidey 2099 as an example. I thought that was fantastic. The first 4 or 5 issues that I can remember are a movie right there, feature film. That could be incredible. But later on, you end up with something like 2099 Unlimited, and these books that are just like the trying to keep the heart beating, the life support of this universe, the different characters and whatnot. And you have like a really not good artist, and you know, like maybe a nice cover, but the rest inside is kind of weak, and weak story and weak other things. But you can still pull something enjoyable out of that. It may not be for everybody, but it's not crap.
Yeah,
because it's still getting published. Money is still being put into it. People are still buying it. I think Morbius was that.
The whole comic industry too is different now because of how many people consume comics digitally versus
completely
individual
different world than it was.
Issues on paper, and then all the trade paperbacks that are available. I mean, I can't even imagine starting fresh in wanting to collect individual issues. Like, I wouldn't even know where a person would start doing that, and that's definitely for a question for us to bring. Somebody who's considered an expert in comics, and how would they start nowadays versus when you and I were collecting and getting quarter issues and dime issues.
Great question to pose. I mean, I wouldn't know other than getting graphic novels and collected, those omnibuses and stuff like that, the hardcovers and whatnot. The trade paperbacks, I think is the word I'm looking for. I can't remember. But that sort of thing seems like the route to take, where you're telling complete series of stories, whole arcs in a book. That would be my thing. But again, I don't have
services now. There's multiple services now where you can get digital comic books for a subscription fee. Some of them are like Netflix, where you pay one price and you can read tons of different issues.
That's something that DC was going to do when they were going to come out with their own app and the DC Universe app, but instead it just became
HBO Plus.
Yeah. I remember buying a year of that Disney thing, and then DC.
The DC
thing,
one, yeah.
And then them saying, we're changing our minds. We're doing something different. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had full-on comic books on there. You could go to the app and you could watch the comic books. What I'm waiting for eventually is one that I can actually afford a really good tablet, because I have never actually owned a really good tablet. I've only owned cheap junk, and something that has color e-ink, because e-ink is amazing. I don't know if you've actually used any e-ink devices like e-books and stuff like that.
I've seen them, but I haven't really messed with them.
Yeah, they are so much easier on the eyes. And then the fact that it's in color. So if I can read comic books on an e-ink tablet, that would be amazing, but they're still too expensive.
So there are a lot of different sources to get upcoming movies, and a lot of these look like different, been updated differently. I, as early as I think it was 2 months ago, wrote down 30 movies that I could think of immediately that I wanted to see. And I know a lot of them have changed recently, but you have like the next John Wick, and 355 was something I was interested in. I saw that. That was the female spy a movie that they were working on, women spies for different organizations, a new Mission Impossible movie, the next Avatar movie, things like the League of Super Pets, and
sounds like you're telling a joke.
No, these are actual things that are coming out. There's new Buzz Lightyear movie.
Okay, I'm curious with that because I want to watch that with my kids.
Yeah, like sure. It looks like a interesting take on it, but you're looking at just at a
Sonic 2.
Yeah, the next Sonic coming up.
The girls are going to want to see that for sure.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an action movie and kind of like an indie. It's A24. A24 is a great company, a great studio that comes out with some very interesting stuff. I believe Green Knight was one of the A24 movies, but they take a theme and then they distort it just enough that you honestly don't know what the next thing what's gonna happen next.
Do you want a Morbius sequel?
I'd like to see it. I mean, but I enjoyed Morbius. There are people that like it made money and people went and saw it. It wasn't great, but you don't need great all the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
See, I didn't think the second Venom was all that great. I think it was a rehash of the first one, and it didn't really. I mean, I like Woody Harrelson, but Carnage is just weird.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was just weird.
Yeah.
A lot of the problems that Sony is having are problems that aren't as severe as they would be if they had no cooperation with MCU whatsoever. But just like the first Venom was one of those things where they can't use some stuff. Their hands are super tied, so they have to separate themselves altogether from that to create this thing that's based off like Spider-Man without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you tell a story without Peter Parker, without the spider suit, and a lot of stuff? That's what Venom is.
Yeah.
And MCU can kind of get away with that in sort of a reimagining, like they're doing with Moon Knight. The Moon Knight is not what's coming off the page. And a lot of what the MCU has offered is the MCU's version, not the 616 comic book.
Yeah.
Which, wait, I believe the comic book universe is the 616 universe.
I think so. I can't keep track. Yeah.
Pretty sure. So that's the problem that they have with Morbius is like no Harry Osborn, so no Oscorp, which they call the company Horizon that Dr. Michael Morbius works at, but it seems like it's a placeholder. It should be Oscorp, that sort of thing. Or like they can't call it Stark Industries, or they can't call it this, or they can't call it that, so they have to use some other name. And that seems like a lot of what Morbius's issue was, on top of changing the story and sort of having the foundation of a great movie. Like there are some capable people that made that movie, and they understand how movies are made and how certain how the storyline would go. Like everybody knows the introduction of the character, and then the setting the stakes, and then and then the climax. Everyone knows the basic bones of a story, and it seemed like there wasn't a lot of care put into the details, and that it was solid bones, but everything also kind of slapped on it, and in some cases took some chances with. Or excuse me, the opposite of that. With a lot of the movie played it safe and didn't take the chances that they should have taken. So it was just like an off movie, but not bad as far as Morbius. Like it's just like Venom. Would I watch it? Would I go to a theater and watch it again? Probably not. But not that I didn't enjoy it. Either of the Venom movies.
Yeah. And I had a hard time rewatching the first Venom as well. I saw it in the theater and I really enjoyed it. But I didn't really want to watch it again. And watching the second, I don't think I'll ever watch the sequel to Venom. But I don't have unlimited time to watch movies anymore either. I have to be a little bit pickier and choosy about which movies I do watch, which ones I still collect. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready for another Star Trek movie. I'm ready for to sit down and actually start watching Star Trek again.
Yep.
I'm waiting for there to be a lot for me to consume. I'm ready for the Orville.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to, fill that content up.
I agree.
Resident Alien is probably the one that Nicole and I are watching.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
It's so funny. Awesome. And that's based on a graphic novel as well. Fantastic Beasts.
That's see, right here, I'm going down this list of, oh, this is just in April. Okay. I was like, there's a list of movies that are coming out, and I'm just not seeing, but this is all April stuff.
Yeah.
So you have, like, another, I believe that's another A24, The Northman. No, it's Focus Features. You have, the next thing coming up would be, give me a second here. In May, I think it is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Multiverse of Madness. In May, a lot of movies that look promising, but it was dealing with MCU stuff.
That's cool. So they remade Firestarter.
I'm ready for Star Trek to not have a Michael Bay feel. Yeah, no, less lens flares, less J.J. Abrams, as well. But yeah, like the.
Well, the
Kenobi coming out in May. Top Gun Maverick coming out in May.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Ms. Marvel in June.
Okay.
I think that's the new date. I don't think that's the old date. Jurassic World Dominion, Light Years.
Jurassic Park is another franchise that I can really do without.
It's run its course. Love and Thunder in July.
I enjoyed it. Like, I think we went and saw it in the theater. I think I did. I saw, I don't know, not all of them or whatever, but
I think Black Adam was another one of the superhero movies that moved. If I remember correctly.
I want to see it. It isn't.
Samaritan is a movie, a superhero movie of a different sort. I believe Samaritan is like Sam Jackson plays an old. Top Gun Maverick is looking good, but I also love Airplane, so I might be biased. Sure, Samaritan. I think that's Sam Jackson, but it might be Sylvester Stallone. I think it's Sylvester Stallone, as a matter of fact. Samaritan is a movie about an old, grizzled superhero that gets back into it, kind of thing.
Oh,
famed superhero goes missing after an epic battle, but is actually still around.
Okay.
Let's see. It's not really giving me a decent synopsis, but yeah, it was Sylvester Stallone.
I think one of Sylvester Stallone's silliest sci-fi movie was Judge Dredd, and where he wouldn't wear the helmet. Like, he only wore for a couple scenes and then he took it off.
It's one of those things that Hollywood does because, like, no, we want to see his face.
Yeah,
it's like kind of like Tony, what they did with Robert Downey Jr. in the whole Iron Man thing. It's like we want to see his face.
Yeah,
show his face.
Yeah, well, the same thing with Mandalorian.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
but let's see. October, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I saw previews of that before Morbius. That was impressive.
There's Black Adam.
Black Adam in October, October 21st. Pinocchio, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, still coming out. I thought that would have been moved for sure.
All right, but so I got to ask you a question about that. Okay, so is he in that? Is he?
No.
So who's Black Panther?
I don't know. I purposely not tried to look into that
because I heard they're not recasting him.
No, what they could do is with the multiverse, you could always have. Killmonger come back. You could have.
You can do anything you want. I mean, it's a movie, but I mean, like, he's not going to be Black Panther anymore because he's dead.
Right. So you move on to a new Black Panther.
But they said they're not going to recast him though. So it's like,
no, they're not going to recast T'Challa.
Oh,
they're not going to put. They're not going to say. They're not going to say this other actor's playing T'Challa. They're going to. Like,
there's a new Black Panther.
There's a new Black Panther.
Okay, well that makes a lot more sense.
And it could be Shuri. But they've had some issues with the actress and some of the things that she's spoken out about.
Yeah, because she didn't. Yeah, she wasn't complying with the COVID mandates. Yeah,
and a few other issues from what I heard. That
sure, she's probably painting the
political issues. But and then you have the other gentleman that I can't remember his name, but he's going to be Batman in a Spotify audiobook called Batman Unhinged, Unburied.
Huh.
He's playing Bruce Wayne. So you have a couple. He was the ape in the comic books. They called him White Ape, but I can't remember
never saw that.
M'Baku.
M'Baku?
The big dude that they all went to see, the ape ape tribe lead guy.
That sounded familiar.
He fought T'Challa for the mantle of Black Panther and lost.
Okay.
He could jump into the role. They have a lot of different things that they could do with that character.
Oh no. Am I seeing Creed 3?
Creed 3, yep.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay.
December, Avatar 2, Shazam.
Wow. Shazam.
The next Shazam. Fury of
Super
the Gods.
Mario Brothers. Let me buy that ticket now.
And then there's so many other things coming out to be announced.
Creepers Reborn.
Jeepers Creepers filmed near Ocala.
The first one, Denellen, on High School Road. Wait, did I see Conan? Oh no, that's Cocaine. I'm sorry. Clerks 3?
Cocaine Bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not seeing January 2002 movies with these movies that are coming out. Yeah, okay. 355. What else had come out? Eternals, January. I haven't been super moved except for No Way Home. I don't think that I can recall I've been super moved.
Yeah, that's my favorite Spider-Man movie ever.
Moonfall I meant to go see in the theater, but I hadn't. But that's the sci-fi. That's like wacky sci-fi. That's not necessarily.
It's a popcorn film. Yeah. It's a bunch of shit blowing up and destroying. It's everything that I don't like about.
Yeah. Disaster porn or an apocalypse porn. Uncharted with our boy Tom Holland.
How was it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg was in it, so it's only going to be so good. But again,
him and Tom Cruise, man. And I know Jamie's excited about Top Gun and Maverick, and that movie definitely has to come out. But like, just be done. Just be done, Tom. You've made all the monies. You have superpowers now. So, you're Scientologist.
Yeah,
you can be done now.
The problem with a lot of that is when they announce that they're going to make the movie, and then they make the movie. There's so much hype from initial talks that it burns out before the movie ever comes out. And forget if that's on schedule with COVID and everything that's happened. That's pushed everything a year or two. Yeah. So you end up getting something that you wanted 5 years ago, finally made, and everyone's done with it before the movie even comes out. Yeah. And so that everybody shits on it, like I said. So there's a problem there.
But I've been shitting on Tom Cruise for years, so that's nothing new. Not saying he hasn't produced some good sci-fi, because he absolutely has.
Oh, there's that little indie film that came out in March called The Batman. That was all right. Not too bad.
Yeah, I still haven't.
If you heard of that. Free Guy was another one that was.
Free Guy was fun. Didn't we send that in the theater?
Pretty fun. Yep. And
I would, Jamie, I'd actually prefer if they recasted Tom Cruise with Pee Wee Herman in Top Gun.
We're inverted. You're a loose cannon. I know you are, but what am I? Lost City. I haven't seen that.
I want to make sure I say hi to Jody. Jody said she was gonna listen tonight, but she didn't pop up in chat.
Oh man!
But thank you, Jody, for listening and sharing the episode too. I've seen that. That's great. Telling people that they should listen because I am friends with her and a good friend Manny from back in the day when we used to all talk to each other on bulletin board systems through modems. Can you believe it?
Yep, through the magic of the interwebs.
Yep.
So you have Morbius, not terrible. So I've mentioned this before. I paid a certain amount of money for an annual pass to Regal, so that all I pay is 55 cents for the movie ticket. And then I've also taken advantage of a lot of points that I have to get a popcorn or a drink. So it's been costing me pretty cheap to get a large popcorn, large drink, nice seat, fairly empty theater, really nice theaters because I have my choice of a couple of them. Yep. Yeah. I've been going to the Riviera lately just because I've been.
That's Nicole and I's favorite movie theater for like
super nice.
Regular movies. Yeah, downtown parking's super easy.
Cinnabar is great as well when I'm in that area. Like if I want to get a coffee and a smoky, I'm on that side of town anyways. It's like right like within eye shot of the Smokies.
I've only seen one movie there, and we saw Dune, and it was okay.
I saw The Matrix there. Okay. I saw Green Knight there, I think. I saw what was the one I just saw recently? The Matrix, but there was another one as well.
Hello, Chris. Good to see you, buddy.
What's going on, buddy?
Has Chris seen any good movies lately? Any good nerdy movies?
Uncharted. I saw Uncharted at Cinnabar as well.
Okay.
So,
are all the screens at Cinnabar the ones with the nice seats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yep. and they all serve the drinks and stuff. And you can even. I was informed that because I went to see 2 movies. I want to say it was Uncharted and Blacklight. So I went to see 2 movies because I could a double feature just for the heck of it. And if I held on to my popcorn and my drink, I could get them refilled for free, which I wasn't aware that I could do. So I was happy about that.
Yeah. You should always try to get a refill.
Sure.
Even if it's not part of the deal, be like, hey, let's fill this up for me.
And if what
do they care? They're working at a movie theater,
right? But it is a little wasteful. But it's nice to do that on occasion. But I was happy with all the movies that I went and seen. With my past the way that it is. I saw Spider-Man No Way Home back in December 2021 in a theater called Alamo Drafthouse. Oh, Alamo Drafthouse.
Alamo Drafthouse is famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do some good movies. Good first run movies, a lot of indies, stuff like that.
They were one of the first that allowed beer and food, and like that was a big deal. And then too, if you get on your phone or like, you know what I mean, they'll kick you out if you start texting during a movie. And stuff. At least that's what I've been told.
Which you absolutely should. Do not use your phones during the movie.
Oh yeah, especially when it's really dark, and then all of a sudden somebody's on their phone. You're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't mind if a movie pulls me out of the movie. I mind it very much if someone's kicking my seat or talking or doing something to pull me out of the movie. Yeah, that's a whole different deal.
Coming out of a movie and you're like, I don't know what happened in that movie. I'm not sure. I understand. And you know what movie that we all went was Inception, and we like come out of the movie, and I'm like, I think I understood what the movie was about.
Well, that's like, Christopher Nolan, man.
Do you guys remember? Do you remember what it was about? I remember Pam was like, I'm not sure I knew what was going on. Were they sleeping the whole time? Were they dreaming? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know.
That's the fun thing about Christopher Nolan movies is that when he puts on a movie, it's like no explanation. It's a super learning curve.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, you don't want to say that you didn't get it, but no one wants to admit that they didn't get it. Well, Tenet was the same way. Like the way that he described the whole time going backwards and stuff like that, the time inversion type thing. It's like, it didn't give a clear explanation. A lot of people sounded like they knew what they were talking about. And they're like, oh, of course. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay. Like you're going along not knowing anything about it the whole time. But that's just Christopher Nolan movies. Alamo Drafthouse is an awesome theater. My nearest location is 100 miles from me.
That's not close. That's not close. Try to carpool next time. Yeah.
Or get a van. Live in your van. That way you
live there.
Right down the road.
At the movie theater. Chris, where are you from? What state are you from, Chris?
He's in New Mexico.
New Mexico. Oh, my God. Everything is 100 miles from New Mexico.
Yep.
Except Mexico. I've never been to New Mexico, but I've been to Mexico.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
If you don't go, I'll go for you. So yeah, as far as movie experiences go, plenty of movies to see, and I think that's one of the benefits that I have going to see Morbius and movies like that, which is it's fun to go, grab a popcorn, sit back, and enjoy something on the screen and enjoy the experience. Would I have that same feeling about a lot of these movies if I wasn't in a big theater with a popcorn and relaxed and comfortable and the air conditioning and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe not. No, watching some things on my phone, I don't get as much enjoyment out of. However, when you're talking like Disney Plus and Moon Knight, I'll give my initial reaction. I love it, and I want more of it. And I'm sad to hear already that it's only going to be 6 episodes.
Oh, the first season's only 6 episodes.
If there's going to be. It most likely will be the only season by the way that some people are saying.
So we should enjoy the 6 episodes that we get because there may not be any more.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the smart things that Oscar Isaac, the actor, has done is he signed on for those 6 episodes only. He has stated himself that he knows about the golden handcuffs that a lot of these other actors have signed on for.
Oh, dude, he's going to be in so many movies in the next 20 years. Yeah.
Oscar Isaac has the opportunity. And based off of the success for these 6 episodes, he only signed on for those 6. And if he wants in, if they can write Moon Knight in, then he will. If they can't come to an agreement, if they can't find anything, then he's not under any contractual obligation.
Well, wasn't Hawkeye only 6 episodes as well? Something like that.
I thought there were 8 or maybe. I mean, it was a small number, definitely for sure.
Not a full season. Yeah.
But that's what they should do. They come out with that stuff. It's the production value, the cast, the commitment that they have, the investment in the story, and having all these things connect. And like one of the things that I've heard about Moon Knight that I agree with is the fact that unlike a lot of other, like WandaVision is an example of one of those things where you're not given any training wheels. You jump in, and with WandaVision, for the most part, a lot of it was expected of you. Like the viewer comes on doing a lot of the work themselves. You know who the characters are, and not a lot is given into the characters. It's just sort of they drop you in, and you spend a couple episodes finding out what the story is about. But you're invested from the start because it's WandaVision. It's it's Scarlet Witch and Vision, and it's Marvel Universe, and you love it. And Marvel has your money, so that's an experience that I'm certainly fine with. A Moon Knight actually plays out like a legit TV series where if you have no idea about anything, you find out about the character, you start to like the character, you start to get invested in what he's about and his struggles, and things are revealed to him at the same time that they're revealed to you, so you're able to go along for the ride. So yeah, Moon Knight was fantastic in my opinion.
Chris is waiting for Loki season 2. I agree. I really liked Loki. I thought that was really, they did that really well. I mean, I'm just blown away with a lot of the shows they're doing. They're just knocking them out of the park. You know, whether it's Star Wars or whether it's the Marvel shows.
And they go with the Guardians of the Galaxy sort of route, which is, I mean, honestly, Iron Man from the get-go was like that. Which, really? That guy? Or that team? Or that story? You're going to tell that? And, yeah, if they're like, every time that they come up with something, you're not sure, but then you watch it and you're like, oh, hell yes.
Oh, yeah. I was so excited when Guardians of the Galaxy came out and was super good. And it was like, oh, this is... because this is kind of an obscure thing.
What a treasure, yeah.
Yeah, because I was never a huge Avengers fan growing up. I'd read some issues. I was way more of an X-Men fan. And then I didn't understand what everybody's fucking obsession was with the Avengers. Like, okay, they're not that great. Like, the storylines aren't that fantastic, whatever. Obviously, they built up the movies, the MCU and stuff. But the thing that kind of upsets me is there are so many other series out there that are justified to having a TV series or a movie, and we'll probably never, ever see those shows. That would be a great episode for us to talk about.
It'll be a while, but I'm sure that
we'll see.
I'm sure, like, there are some things that here's the thing is that they're pulling out so many left field names and left field things, and like Adam Warlock and that sort of thing, like Star Fox. Star Fox? Yeah,
Star Fox was that video game for Nintendo.
No, but it was. I'll have to look it up. The gentleman that showed up at the end of Eternals, and I can't remember his name, but I want to say it was Star Fox. No, I want to say it was Star Fox. Okay. There are some interesting characters that they're pulling out of left field, and we're going to see in the MCU more characters come up. And be featured. I think they're like Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're going to start pulling stuff out of left field. They're going to pull out names that you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh, they did it. They actually went for them. With a lot of what Marvel had to offer, there's licensing issues. There's the business end of it, which I hate that interfering with my nerd. You know, like you want the good stuff. You want all these fun people and fun names and fun characters interacting and doing all these things. And like you, if it weren't for the whole Fox thing, like, don't know if you'd ever see Wolverine in the MCU. Don't know if that would ever happen, and now it will happen. So there are some times where they can't happen, but that's the major things. You're talking obscure names and obscure titles. Yeah. So yeah.
No, there's just so many. I can't even list them all. But I mean, again, that'd be a good show to talk about. I mean, at least 5. You know, you could come up 5. I could come up 5.
Sure.
And talk about those.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But Moon Knight was fantastic, and there's more Marvel, there's more Disney Plus Marvel series that are coming out, more MCU movies that are coming out as well for the next 3 years at least. And
but no Star Wars movies though.
No, there's you got the Disney Plus stuff.
That's fine. Those are the shows.
Yeah, but
no movies though.
Actually, I thought I heard about a couple that they're looking into that they may be doing.
Well, they were going to do an X-Wing series, but that kind of, because they made a whole series of books about the X-Wing pilots and all those groups.
If there's one thing that I know, Ben,
and they were awesome adventures.
If there's one thing that I can let you know for sure, do I have any physical evidence of this stuff? No, but just common sense. If you like Star Trek, if you like Star Wars, if you like Marvel, you don't have to worry.
They're going to make a movie.
They're going to make movies. They're going to make TV shows. Those are bankable franchises.
Did you like Rogue One?
Loved it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think there was a Star Wars thing, a product that I didn't like in some way. I even like the prequels to some respect. But especially lately, like you get like I mentioned this in the last episode, you get Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau in a room together, they make magic. And that's like, and now Kevin Feige is even getting into the ring with the whole, Star Wars and all the different further expanded. What's the word I'm looking for?
Expanded universe.
Yeah, but the Star Wars canon. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi series looks good. Yeah, they're gonna come out with some great stuff, and the fact that they can do that.
Can they just get off Tatooine though? Can they just leave?
Agreed.
Leave that desert planet alone.
That was the issue that I had at the beginning when they were talking about with Solo and all that stuff, and the last.
Well, at least they were Coruscant. I mean, they were where he's from.
But so much of that stuff is really, and the Mandalorian as well got on Tatooine as well. You have so much of a literal universe to tell in that Star Wars story. So you can travel across galaxies, and they can't get off that rock. I agree with that.
No, but it's fun.
Yeah, but now that they have the technology, they can do it. They're
everything's shot on a green screen, even stuff outside
in like a dome.
Yeah,
and also the fact that they're like the way they tapped into Luke Skywalker now with the deepfake artist and everything. Like there's going to be some interesting stuff. I was impressed Rogue One because of
the Princess Leia and
I was going to say
Darth Vader,
Grand Moff Tarkin,
and
Princess Leia. Showing them it's like, oh, we're getting close. We're getting super close to doing some amazing stuff. But it
was a great film. It's a great film. I
looking forward to it.
No, I mean Rogue One was a great film.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then all this other stuff is just icing.
Looking forward to what's coming based on what happened in Rogue One. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I heard that Snake. Was that his name?
Snake Plissken.
Snoke.
Snoke.
The
that guy.
Red herring villain from the postquels.
Yeah.
That was they just messed with Tarkin's with all the CGI stuff that they did. They just basically morphed him a little bit to make this new character kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's potential. They got some interesting things that they're gonna do. But no, Rogue One was a great movie.
The toys didn't do very well.
Solo was all right. The toys didn't do very well.
They didn't. And neither did the Solo toys. They thought they were going to sell a ton of Solo toys and Rogue One toys, so you could still find like brand new Rogue One toys in toy stores, like clearance stuff, because they made so much of it, and it just didn't.
Not the same as it used to be.
No, because it's not part of the trilogy. It's not part of the Skywalker trilogy. So what is it?
That's nuts.
Yeah. But I don't think the Star Trek toys sell very well either.
I don't know anything about the toy business that I could tell you.
Yeah, I know a tiny bit.
Those require a budget in order to utilize those, and I don't have that.
I think it was funny when we visited Florida and we hung out with Jamie, and Jamie took us around all these different places. He was kind of like nonchalant about like it's okay, like it's all right store, like you're not gonna be impressed. And I walk in and I'm like, holy shit, like amazing, absolutely amazing store. Like whether it was in Ocala or if it was Orlando or whatever, I guess he just has been there enough times where he's like, okay, it's the charm's kind of worn off. But I mean, every bit as good as the stores that we'd have here in Knoxville. And it's like, you'd think Knoxville would beat the shit out of stores in Ocala, but no, they had awesome gaming stores.
Browncoats is a great
Browncoats was the one I was talking about. Yeah, that's a absolute fantastic store.
Yeah.
I'll put that up against any of our stores that we have here.
Sci-Fi City's kind of close.
Sci-Fi City's better, but not by much though. Like really, I mean, there's nothing you could say for sure. Like, okay, it's better than for this. But
more square footage, but they had there's a lot of older retro video games.
Yeah, Sci-Fi City doesn't have that stuff. Yeah.
Vintage Toy King.
Vintage Toy King. Yeah, that's the other one that like, oh, it's okay, and then we go in there, we're like, holy shit, like. And the owners are super nice, and Jamie and Natalie are obviously friends with them. And they go in there all the time, and they had cheap stuff. Like that's the one thing that really pisses me off a lot about it. A lot of the vintage places is you go in, you're like, well, I can't afford anything in here. Yeah. They actually do have stuff that's relatively inexpensive, and I mean, I almost bought stuff, but they were I think it was Galoob. Had the Star Trek license, and they were the little miniature, all the different ships, and the guy had them for super cheap, like dollars, like it was like $2, $3 or whatever.
Like war game miniature type.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like the miniature, Galoob, whatever. Not micro machines, but you know what I'm talking about. That kind of thing. Yeah, for super cheap.
Nice. Maybe we'll do an episode of toys. I'm not very knowledgeable in it, but it's something that's interesting.
Well, I did join the Knoxville Toy Collector group, so I figured maybe we could find somebody on there that would like to come on. The content is coming. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I joined a whole bunch of groups. I really wanted to see. And Jamie, thank you for liking all my comments on all those different groups. I thought it was kind of weird that you're already in all those groups, but or maybe you just saw that I posted and you're like, oh, I like that. Thanks, Ben. But I wanted to get the word out about our show, and so I made an event this time around, and we'll see. We're obviously getting plenty of interaction in the channel, so that's great. Thank you guys for being there and talking to us. Actual view count, we'll see how this one does compared to the other ones. Yeah,
we made great strides in the past month.
Yes.
Can't expect it to happen in a month.
But even the views that we're getting now, I'm content with that. Even if we don't get any more views, what we've gotten so far is great compared to, our episodes would be up for a couple months and we wouldn't get the view count that we get now.
14 views and since forever.
Yeah, forever. Yeah. And then already ours are getting 40 plus views. So that's great.
TikTok should be live by next Wednesday.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be really great. We can do that little restream onto TikTok because there's a lot of extra people that discover you through that algorithm, the Nerd Talk.
And one thing that I had in mind was maybe going on to Fiverr. If there's anybody that watches this that does video editing and would like to offer their services, by all means, contact us. But I'm going. One of the things that Ben and I had discussed was looking into getting somebody maybe to just chop up some of our clips and throw them on, make them capable of
cut the fat off, get the good stuff.
Yeah, someone that has more experience than Ben and I in doing that.
Because we can edit the video, we can do that, but it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be efficient. And if you are a video editor,
we don't have the eyes for it. Like we just experienced yesterday. Not having the eyes for certain things like video editing for camera, the color correction, the white balancing, all that stuff. We had a gentleman
helped us out.
Yeah, we had a great new member of the community joining us, Andrew, that came by and gave us some words of wisdom on how we're doing our thing. And also that hopefully we'll be collaborating with.
Hopefully we didn't scare him off.
No,
we are a lot,
Yeah, but I think definitely for sure he's going to be.
He's a lot like us.
Yeah,
he is definitely cut from the same cloth when it comes to sci-fi stuff, and he's a huge plant guy. And he's into permaculture stuff, and he's definitely somebody he's a doer.
The goal that we have in mind to network with certain people, to meet with certain people and collaborate with, what do you need? Here's what we need. How can we work together? That the idea of community and sharing stuff and helping each other prosper. It's a foundation of one of the principles of permaculture, and it's certainly something that we hold dear. I think that there is a lot of that collaboration, a lot of that effort, the hard work put into things that can prosper.
Yeah.
What's the word you're looking for? The not just regenerative or what's
you know, sustainability is great, but really you want to be regenerative. I mean, you want to leave things better than when you got there. Where sustainability is just you using the same resources over and over again.
Yeah.
You know.
So that if anybody is interested in contributing and helping us out in that way, you can you can donate to one of our tip jars, either PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or what have you. You can go to paypal.me/3231. You can, I think there's a tip jar here on YouTube that you could even drop a dollar or two if you want to. But your time as well, if you have expertise in video editing, anything that could be of help to us, even just sharing the broadcast and hitting the subscribe button, hitting a like.
Musicians friends, we know we have many. Can you write us a tune?
That's another new one. One of our friends, Bridger from Ocala, somebody that a good friend of mine, another member of the family, sort of thing. I've spoke with him about throwing some bumper music together, some little bits of music that we could use for ourselves. So he's contributing like that as well.
Bridger was my favorite bass player of Fear to Fail. He was my favorite.
It's cool to work with our friends, and so if anybody has anything that they can contribute to us, we would appreciate the assistance. But
art too. Matt can't make all the artwork, so if you got any cool ideas for art stuff, let us see it.
And to be honest, I have a particular style of art. I mean, you're looking at it, all the graphics type stuff and the slightly comic booky stuff that I throw together for on the overlay right here. This is the kind of stuff that I do. I can't do some things that other people can do. So, and you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want me, one or two trick pony like me trying to go in different areas, making things half-assed. You want people that are good at the thing that they do, getting involved as well. You want to see somebody that could, edit better than I can. Someone that can, make a sound better than I can.
I guess that's what makes 3231 so special. Is that we are an entertainment community. We're a community of individuals who are really enthusiastic about certain things. And most of that shit's pretty nerdy stuff. Obviously we enjoy the comic book stuff, the superhero talk, the movies, the science fiction. And there's a lot of people who are into that stuff too. But there's all sorts of nerdy shit that you and I aren't into. But we'd love to talk to people about that. Yeah. Whether it's collectible card games, Abby loves Pokemon. I know there's lots of people who dig that stuff.
It's the passion behind the stuff that they love. It may not be this thing that we're into, but the fact that you're into it as much as you are, and that you want to, that is a part of your life, and you want to talk about it. That is enough for us to want to jump in and do stuff about it. Jamie, for example, has done a great job in helping us out from Florida when he gets an opportunity every once in a while. 5-10 minutes, he can help us out and do stuff for us. And
for somebody who's working right now, you're sure interacting with us a hell of a lot.
Yeah, we appreciate
that's awesome.
You, man.
Thank you, bud.
We appreciate you very much. Won't stop.
I asked Jamie, I'm like, is there any way for you to be on our show? And he's like, I'm going to do the best I can, bud, but I can't guarantee shit because, they're short-staffed at work. But, it means a lot to us that Jamie's in the chat and
but he
contribute in every way he can.
Yeah, he's proof right there that you spend 10 minutes, hang out with us, talk about things. Chris, the same thing. Chris has come in. Chris Technician has come in and talked with us. Ian Wolfgang's come in and talked to us. We've had David that's come in before. Yeah. Nicole even spends a couple moments dealing with us, which she doesn't have to. She lives with the guy.
Yeah, and I asked her to. I said, could you please come on? Even if it was just a little bit. She's like, that's fine. She's like, I'm not listening to you the whole time. And I'm like, I don't blame you.
We want some movement on the chat. But
No, today I got a lot of stuff done. I was real productive today. We got a lot of stuff done in the house. So I'm tired. So I don't know.
Tired all around.
I don't know if I'll make it to 9:30. I'm letting you know now.
No. No, I was just wondering myself. I wonder what the weather's like getting back out there to the van.
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, was there much more that you wanted to accomplish in this episode?
No, I didn't want to talk too much about Morbius and Moon Knight because of spoilers. Because I know other people haven't viewed it yet. We can't,
and I haven't seen the episode 2, so I didn't want to get into that.
And as I'm looking up stuff, I was trying to find the upcoming movies and everything, and everything's so changed, and dates are flown around, switched around so much, and I saw so much non-MCU stuff that kind of distracted me a little bit. That there's not really a lot we can talk about with that quite yet. But
and we can talk about that stuff when it starts coming, when it gets a lot closer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, we'll wrap this up right here. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks for being a part of 3231 tonight, and we are on every Wednesday night, 7 p.m.
So next week I won't be here, but not for the reasons that I originally told you. I am going to my first daddy-daughter dance.
Oh.
And I'm double booked because I have 2 daughters.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
You'll be busy.
Sorry, Earth Talk. Sorry, Knoxville Permaculture Guild meetup. My daughters take priority.
Absolutely. Your direct community is something that you need to take
so I might be here, but come in for the last part of the show if you're still doing,
Yeah.
And I know if anybody would like to come on the air with Matt next Wednesday.
Oh, by all means, let me know.
Yeah, we could definitely get you on. We got it all set up. So,
and if you're watching this after, like at any Wednesday you're available, you let us know if you want to jump on and say, hey, and we want to make it happen for sure. But
I have a large list of people who are ready to come on the air as soon as we're ready for them. I told them, let's, we're knocking the dust off and we're getting this going. And once we feel that we're ready, we'll start booking those up. And it sounds like we are. So not too much longer.
Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. And as always, please do us a favor and do as it says on this way to like and subscribe and get notified. Click what you need to click. And we are available on all sorts of social media that you can connect with us. So follow us if you haven't followed us yet. Please share the broadcast with your friends. Always nice to make new friends. And by all means, connect with us at 3231 all over social media, 3TWO3ONE. We thank you very much for taking your time with us. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.